Hola, excuse me, Cecily Callahan, and my pronouns are she, her. I serve gratefully as your coordinator of community life. I'm your go-to person for info about the church or if you want to get more connected or involved. Barbara Cheatham reminds us it is a good morning to be together. When winter's darkness spreads across the land and the cold seeps through our thickest coats, we hurry here, drawn by the warmth of faces familiar and new, to the welcoming walls of this place. Here, for this time, we open ourselves to new understanding, reassurance, and hope, for this is a place where truth, love, and challenge meet. It is a good morning to be together. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno, California. Welcome to everyone on our online church campus. Welcome to everyone on our Alluvial Avenue church campus. And welcome to everyone joining the service later on Facebook or YouTube. You are welcome no matter your race, culture of origin, age, spiritual background, or religious beliefs. Your neurodiversity is welcome here. You are welcome no matter your disabilities, level of formal education, or how much money you possess. You are welcome whether you rent, own a home, stay with a friend, or are unhoused. Those of us who are lesbian, gay, bi, transgender, queer, non-binary, gender fluid, or intersex are welcome here. We are welcome with or without documentation. All are welcome here. Todos son bienvenidos aquí. We encourage those on our online campus to share this Sunday solstice service live stream with those who follow you on social media. We honor and respect the indigenous peoples on whose land Alluvial Avenue campus sits. This is the ancestral home of the Yokuts people. As a part of this recognition, we encourage you to learn more about the history of the Yokuts and how this land was taken from them. As you entered our Alluvial Avenue campus, you may have noticed a small table set up in the foyer. This is our Soul Work for All Ages table. People of all ages can benefit from something to explore with their hands during the service. Please help yourself to a project or all ages finger fidget toy. We only ask that you bring the materials back so they can be used again in the following weeks. I imagine there are several folks on our virtual campus who would appreciate their joy, sorrow, concern, or gratitude included in today's service, so just text it to us at 559-337-3772. Be sure to text your name as well so we know who you are. Now in our Alluvial Avenue sanctuary, in the chat box, or in the silence of our hearts, let's take a moment to say buenos dias and greet one another.
Buenos dias. Mi nombre es Timoteo. My name is Tim. My pronouns are he, him, and I serve gratefully as minister here at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno. Thank you, Paula. As we begin our Sunday solstice service, you might want to pay extra attention to the prelude that's about to happen, because we will be singing together the exact same thing in just a few minutes. So let's allow the sound of the tingsha and the phone that's ringing to guide us to that quiet place within that isn't buffeted by the sounds around us, but knows that on this solstice time, there is peace, there is gentleness within.
What we seed in the dark grows, what we seed in the dark grows, what we seed in the dark grows and grows. How no one knows what we seed in the dark grows, what we seed in the dark grows, what we seed in the dark grows and grows. How no one knows what we seed in the dark grows, what we seed in the dark grows, what we seed in the dark grows and grows. No one knows what we seed in the dark grows, what we seed in the dark grows, what we seed in the dark grows and grows. How no one knows what we seed in the dark grows, what we seed in the dark grows, what we seed in the dark grows, what we seed in the dark grows and grows. How no one knows what we seed in the dark grows, what we seed in the dark grows, what we seed in the dark grows and grows. How no one knows what we seed in the dark grows, what we seed in the dark grows, what we seed in the dark grows and grows. No one knows.
Good morning, buenos dias. Again, my name is Cecily Callahan, and I'm the coordinator of Community Life, and my pronouns are she, her. If you are on our online campus and you have a candle or chalice, bring it close as we'll be kindling our flames in a few moments. This is the morning after the longest night of the year, that time when we are wrapped in deep and beautiful darkness. This is the morning after the longest night of the year, this sacred, the special time known as the winter solstice. We light our chalice with these words by singer and songwriter Leah Morris. Honor the dark as you do the light. Receive the gifts that come to us by day and by night. I choose to honor the dark, uncertainty and change. Deliver us from fear until only love remains. Honor the dark as the butterfly slips from her dark cocoon. Honor the dark as the evening sky reveals the light of the moon. Sometimes fear surrounds us. Sometimes there will be pain. Let the darkness heal you until only love remains. Let the darkness heal us until only love remains. Let the flame of love be kindled. We have a song for the winter solstice, In the Dark. We've already heard it sung as our prelude. Now we are invited to join in singing about the beauty of darkness. Let us rise now in body or spirit.
What we seed in the dark grows, what we seed in the dark grows, what we seed in the dark grows and grows. How no one knows what we seed in the dark grows, what we seed in the dark grows, what we seed in the dark grows and grows. How no one knows what we seed in the dark grows, what we seed in the dark grows, what we seed in the dark grows and grows. How no one knows what we seed in the dark grows, what we seed in the dark grows, what we seed in the dark grows and grows. How no one knows what we seed in the dark grows, what we seed in the dark grows. the dark grows, what we seed in the dark grows, what we seed in the dark grows and grows. How no one knows that we seed in the dark grows, what we seed in the dark grows, what we seed in the dark grows and grows. No one knows.
I invite us to remain standing as we say together our church covenant. El amor es la doctrina de esta iglesia, la búsqueda de la verdad es su sacramento y el servicio es su oración. Habitar juntos en paz, buscar la verdad con libertad y servir a la humanidad juntos, con el fin de que todas las almas puedan crecer en armonía con lo divino. Esto es lo que pactamos unos con otros. We affirm that love is the doctrine of this church, the quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. We strive to dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humankind in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow in harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant together with each other. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen. Please be seated. So we are in the midst of the holiday season. Winter solstice last night extending into today. We have Christmas Eve almost here. We have Hanukkah. We have Kwanzaa. We have New Year's Eve, and then the festivities of New Year's Day. So much of what we know as the holidays actually has origins within Unitarian Universalism. The first Christmas tree in the United States was introduced by a Unitarian minister in Concord, Massachusetts. He brought the custom over when he immigrated from Germany. So the Christmas tree, oh Christmas tree, thanks to the Unitarians. One of the beloved stories of the holiday season is A Christmas Carol, written by the great Unitarian Charles Dickens. Thank you to another Unitarian. And some of the music that we sing, some of our favorite hymns and songs come to us from Unitarian Universalism. Over the River and Through the Woods was written in 1844 as a Thanksgiving song by the great abolitionist and transcendentalist Lydia Marie Child. And you all know that one, right? Over the river and through the wood, to grandmother's house we go. Do you hear what I hear, which we sang last week at our children's pageant? We'll sing on Christmas Eve, written by a Unitarian. The great Hanukkah song, 8 Candles. And Lorenzo, who wrote that?
The Unitarian Malvina Reynolds.
Very good. It came upon a midnight clear. How many of us love It Came Upon a Midnight Clear? Written by the Unitarian Hamilton Sears. I Heard the Bells on Christmas Day. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, the great transcendentalist, wrote those words. But the most popular, the most well-known song of the season, written by a Unitarian, was written in 1857, first sung on Christmas Eve of 1857 at the Unitarian Church in Savannah, Georgia. It was written by James Pierpont, Jingle Bells. And so, imagine it is solstice night. It is dark and deep and beautiful, and we are going to go take a sleigh ride. Let's sing Jingle Bells.
2, 3, 4. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun two ago, I thought I'd take a ride, and soon Miss Fanny Bright was seated by my side. Horse was lean and lame, before him seemed his lot. He got into a grifted bank, and then we got upsot. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Now the ground is white, go it while you're young. Take your friends tonight and sing this sleighing song. Just get a bobtail sleigh, 240 as his speed. Hitch him to an open sleigh and crack, he'll take the lead. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Thank you, Unitarian Universalism, for Jingle Bells. Let's sing our kids as they head off to their spirit explorations.
We hold you in our love as you go, as you go. May your heart be at peace as you go. To nurture the spark of your precious life. We hold you in our love as you go.
So I invite us to take in a nice, deep, healing breath. And as we breathe in, we imagine we're breathing in peace. We breathe out love. And again, taking in a nice, centering breath in, breathing in peace. We breathe out love. One more time, breathing in peace into every cell of your body, absorbing that peace. And as we exhale love. As we continue to breathe together on this morning after solstice night, let's allow that breath to carry us back over the last week, the last 7 days of living. Question for reflection: how in the last week were you unskillful with your words or actions? No blame, just acknowledgement. How were we unskillful in words or actions? Knowing this, what thought or intention do you want to carry with you into this holiday week? Each week when we gather, we pause, and for some of us, it's truly the first time in our week we've been actually able to pause, actually able to take in a breath or two, imagining peace and love. And we create space to just allow us to be together, and for us individually to be with whatever is in our hearts, be it joy, sorrows, concerns, or gratitudes. Some of us stopped at the small table at the entranceway to the church. Others of us on our online campus sent in a text or typed in the chat box, and this is some of what is alive among us today. Nancy Hatcher, a joy that a dear friend and UU member is recovering well from her recent heart surgery. Alicia Mancines, a joy. Rebel turned 16 this past weekend. And in Alicia's heart today is also a sorrow. We lost a very close friend this week, much too young, only 41. We surround you with love in this loss. Caroline is glad to be back home with family for the holidays after 10 months in Portland. Welcome home. Jackie is feeling joyful. The same birthday as Mick Jagger and Paul McCartney is also left-handed like me. Betty Prang in the foothills, gratitude on this solstice. I'm grateful for the loving, warm, caring, vibrant, fun family I have found in this congregation. And right back at you, Betty. George Berman says, my wife Pat is in Oklahoma visiting her sister. This trip, which was supposed to be about 12 hours, took about a day and a half. Pat is pleased to report that there are, I can't make that out, that there are still kind airline employees who treat customers well. Claire T., best wishes for my grandmother who has moved to a skilled nursing facility and is very up and down. Claire, thinking of you and your family and your grandmother. Andrew Livingstone, I have an operation on Christmas Eve and am asking for good thoughts from my friends at the Unitarian Universalist Church. Andrew, we're holding you in love and light and in our prayers as you undergo surgery on Tuesday. Paula Siegel, my niece, Sarah Beth, has suffered from seizures ever since she got COVID in 2021. This week she fell during a seizure and broke her arm, and so we are thinking of Sarah Beth. And we also have a sorrow. We think of Christine in her difficult time, and also Nicholas, Scarlett, and Chris having a tough time right now. We also remember our beloveds, those unable to be with us because of health. We think of Diana I, Sam Z, Andrew L, who is with us today, Armin B, Bev F, Glenda R, Pat M, Robin C, and also we hold in our hearts today, although not on the screen, in our hearts, Judy P. In this season, when we sing songs about peace on earth and goodwill to all, we grieve, as we have every week, that hostages are still held by the terrorist army of Hamas. We greatly grieve the ongoing death and destruction, the genocide in Gaza, and the ongoing attacks on Palestinians in the West Bank. We grieve all the wars around the world, from Ukraine to Sudan to the Democratic Republic of Congo and far too many other places. We acknowledge that yesterday was National Unhoused or Homeless Persons Memorial Day. Some of us gathered in downtown Fresno at Eaton Plaza to read aloud and remember the names of those unhoused individuals who died on the streets this past year. Many of those names were unknown, and Fresno County does not actually release a full list of those who have died on the streets. And knowing how many of us struggle with depression and anxiety, and knowing that that can be heightened at this time of the year, we remind all that this is Seasonal Depression Awareness Month. Know that mental health professionals and medication are some of the best blessings in this world. And so for all that has been shared, for the things that we hold in the stillness of our own hearts, and for all those who have no one to remember them, no one to say their name, with gentleness or love, we light our candle of community. By our remembering, may we and they be blessed. Our call to meditation, meditation on breathing.
When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. Cuando respiro, respiro paz. Cuando exhalo, exhalo amor. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. Cuando respiro, respiro paz. Cuando exhalo, exhalo amor. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. Cuando respiro, respiro paz. Cuando exhalo, exhalo amor.
Our words of prayer and reflection come from the heart and mind of Lynn Cox. Let us join together in prayer. Spirit of life, fuente de amor, ancestor of the stars and the sun, you who embrace the vastness of space and us along with it, be with us today. Hold us in our worry, our exhaustion, our grief. Keep us close as we sit with our truth, whatever that may be. Lead us to rest in the quiet, to find solace and renewal in this time of shifting light and dark. You whose arms open with the spinning galaxies, help us to make room for all that is. Open our hearts to our loved ones, our neighbors, the beings with whom we share this planet. Lead us to reach out to others in compassion. Turn us toward one another in mercy, right relationship, and reconciliation. You who have seen the rising and setting of suns, of seasons, of civilizations, remind us of all that we have learned from the history of the world and from our own histories. Give us the courage to face our mistakes and to repair them whenever possible. Help us understand our interdependence, our gravitational relatedness with all of the other spinning lives around us, and lead us to treat those relationships with care. In this space, filled with the people among us who shine like stars, this space filled with the sparkle of love and care, we give thanks for this moment to be together. May our senses be open to the beauty of this day, this season, this world. Que así sea, bendito sea. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen.
For the Liminal Winter by Unitarian Universalist minister, the Reverend Gretchen Haley. In these days, separated into before and after, we learn to live in the in-between, between ways of being and knowing, held in the waiting of winter, where we know all plans and predictions are partial, and where we learn to pivot as a spiritual practice. For us, gathering like this for this hour is a way to mark time, to know ourselves here, now, straddling worlds, maybe for our whole lives. Here, we revel in curiosity. Here, we praise the mystery. Here, we give thanks for all that remains hidden in this liminal time. All that grows beneath the earth and behind the stars, beyond our view, beyond our lifetimes. Let us know ourselves as sowers of seeds, tenders of possibility, called to presence and partnership beyond our imaginations. May we remember our promise to stay in relationship, to repair what has been broken, to do more than just survive, to insist on joy, and to lead in love.
We have another song for the solstice, Honor the Dark. I invite us to rise and body or spirit. We don't know this, but we are going to pick it up pretty quickly. So Stolen Thunder is going to lead us through once so we can hear it, and then we invite us to join in singing as we feel comfortable this song for solstice.
Okay, I'm going to demo the first half of it, have you sing it back to me, and then I'm going to do the second half of it and have you sing it back to me, and then we're going to go back to the top together. 2, 3. Honor the dark as you do the light. Receive the gifts that come to us by day and by night. Everybody, honor the dark as you do the light. Receive the gifts that come to us by day and by night. I choose to honor the dark, uncertainty and change. Deliver us from fear until only love remains. Honor the dark, uncertainty and change. Deliver us from fear until only love remains. Everybody, honor the dark as you do the light. Receive the gifts that come to us by day and by night. I choose to honor the dark, uncertainty and change. Deliver us from fear until only love remains. Honor the dark as you do the light. Receive the gifts that come to us by day and by night. I choose to honor the dark, uncertainty and change. Deliver us from fear until only love remains. Honor the dark as you do the light. Receive the gifts that come to us by day and by night. I choose to honor the dark, uncertainty and change. Deliver us from fear until only love remains. Honor the dark as you do the light. Receive the gifts that come to us by day and by night. I choose to honor the dark, uncertainty and change. Deliver us from fear until only love remains. Honor the dark as you do the light. Receive the gifts that come to us by day and by night. I choose to honor the dark, uncertainty and change. Deliver us from fear until only love remains. Honor the dark as you do the light. Receive the gifts that come to us by day and by night. I choose to honor the dark, uncertainty and change. Deliver us from fear until only love remains.
Please be seated. I think we should offer our appreciation to Stolen Thunder for today's solstice music. It was the longest, coldest, deepest, darkest night I have ever experienced. It was about a year before the 2020 COVID shutdown. I was traveling in Kyrgyzstan in Central Asia. We'd just driven up several hours through the most twisting, winding, ever increasing in height, ever narrowing, ever growing more bumpy road to Songkhal. Now, Songkhal is a high alpine lake at the altitude of 10,000 feet. It is the second largest lake in Kyrgyzstan. It is remote. It is a pristine paradise. Imagine this flat plain with tall mountains all around, snow-capped at this time of year. There are wild horses running out on that plain. There are little clusters of yurts spread out for what seem to be miles. And every now and then, you'd hear the shouts and voices from young men as they played their Kyrgyzstan traditional form of polo on horses, and instead of a ball, they were using the head of a goat. The air was so fresh, it was so clear, it was so not like Fresno air. We had this fabulous dinner cooked to us by our host family, fresh vegetables, a delicious but unknown meat stew. Somehow I feel that stew was somehow connected to that goat head. And then suddenly, night fell. It fell hard, it fell fast, and oh my goodness, it fell cold. And it was soon time to go to sleep in our unheated yurt. Now, dear ones, it had been chilly-ish during the day, but that night the temperature plummeted, at least to somebody used to Fresno summers. Within, it seemed, an hour, I had placed on my body every layer of clothing I could from my backpack. I was huddled in my sleeping bag with multiple blankets on top of me, also some furs that I am sure were somehow connected to a goat head at one time. It was so cold, I can tell you I have never shivered so much. Finally, before dawn, and never having fallen asleep because I was simply too cold, I decided to go outside. I fumbled with the flap of the yurt, not sure where to safely put my feet on the stony ground outside, a ground I could not see because of the total blackness of the night. It was a thick, impenetrable blackness. There was this cloud cover that blocked out everything. There was no moon, there was no stars. Remember, there was no electricity anywhere, so no light was reflecting on the waters of Lake Songkhal. It was truly the deepest, darkest night I had ever experienced. I could not see my hand in front of my face. And yet, strangely, I did not feel scared or alone. Standing there on those freezing cold shores of that remote lake in Kyrgyzstan, I could feel the presence of something so much greater than myself there in the darkness, something benevolent, something healing. Call it God, source, power of nature, awesomeness of the universe, great mystery, or simply my imagination, or give it no name at all, that deep darkness felt like the safest, most nurturing presence on the planet. I felt fully at home. And within the unseeable, unknowable vastness of the universe, as poet Stephanie Noble writes, that darkness had its own hue, its own resonance, its own breath. The darkness surrounded me, but it also filled me. It filled my heart with this warmth that drove out the shivering in my cold body. In that warm blackness, my heart felt connected to something primal, something immense, something so much greater than myself. That beautiful, vast darkness, I was part of it, and it was part of me. We were part of the oneness of all, what Ralph Waldo Emerson once called the soul of the whole. Poet Wendell Berry writes, "To go in the dark with a light is to know the light. To know the dark, go dark. Go without sight and find that the dark too blooms and sings." I love that. To go in the dark with a light is to know the light. To know, truly know the dark, go dark. Go without sight. Last night was the longest night of the year. How many of us stepped out, even for a moment, to experience that deep night? So some of us, others were tucked in bed. Last night, we had more darkness than we will have any time again until next year on December 21st, 2025. In this dark time of year, we humans have created so many wonderful festivals of light. Solstice, Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, New Year's Eve, and New Year's Day. All of these winter festivals are about celebrating the return of light, the return of the sun. The celebrations of this season are about eliminating as much darkness as we can by seeking out, by creating as much light as we can. Yesterday, on NPR's Morning Edition, I heard again one of the most beautifully written descriptions of this human impulse to escape the winter darkness. It is poet Susan Cooper's The Shortest Day. I've loved this poem for years, ever since I first heard it in Boston so many decades ago. This poem begins, "And so the shortest day came, and the year died. And everywhere down the centuries of the snow-white world came people singing, dancing to drive the dark away. They lighted candles in winter trees. They hung their homes with evergreens. They burned beseeching fires all night long to keep the year alive. And when the New Year's sunshine blazed awake, they shouted, reveling. Through all the frosty ages, you can hear them echoing behind us. Listen." And everywhere down the centuries came people to drive away the dark. I think of something my mom would always say this time of year. As a kid, I was so excited to see all the holiday lights decorated outside on houses, on bushes, and around apartment windows, and inside on trees and mantels and tables. I was probably 5 years old, and I remember looking at our Christmas tree in the living room, ablaze with all those multicolored lights, and exclaiming, "All the lights make the darkness go away." My mom stopped me and said, "It's because of the darkness that you can see the light. Without the beautiful darkness, there would be no beautiful light." We need darkness to see the light. That stayed with me. And it helps me at this time of year to not rush so quickly to celebrate the return of light after the longest night of the year. It helps me remember that maybe the gift the shortest day of the year offers is actually the opportunity to celebrate more of the beautiful darkness. The solstice says to us, don't rush to find the light when we can rest a while in the deep quiet of darkness. Chris Heater, a wilderness guide and poet, understands the invitation of the darkness. He writes, "There is a pause now, this quiet solstice time, before light slowly lengthens. The temptation to count the days, to hold our breath until daylight stretches back into evening, early morning, forcing back the darkness. Oh, what a relief it will be, these light-starved bodies, to see again, no longer fumbling in darkness. Still, somewhere deep inside, past resistance and reason, you know this darkness too is your home. Not a place you were taught to hurry through, lest you be swallowed by the whale of darkness, never to be seen again. Your soul knows better. Your soul knows night is the place of dreams. Far beyond what seeing eyes call horizon, night eyes know no such boundary. Turn towards darkness and find not fear, but peace and courage and life. Remember, we grew into personhood not in the light of the world, but in the darkness of our mother's womb. The darkness is what first gave us life. Each long winter night is an opportunity to remember this and perhaps experience it once more. Bolivian poet Yolanda Bedregal exclaims, "Night is a refuge, a return to the dark breast where life remains a kernel of unnameable hope." She writes, I love the night in which I die a little and am greatly born in the unsheared fleece of shadows. Back to that goat again in Kyrgyzstan. We are greatly born in the unsheared fleece of shadows. Dear ones, this is the dark time of the year. These are the longest, coldest, deepest, and darkest nights of the year. But do not be afraid of the darkness, writes poet Stephanie Noble. Dark is the rich, fertile earth that cradles the seed, nourishing growth. Dark is the soft night that cradles us to rest. Only in darkness can stars shine across the vastness of space. Only in darkness is the moon's dance so clear. There's mystery woven into the dark, quiet hours. There is magic in the darkness. Do not be afraid. We are born of this magic. It fills our dreams that root, unravel, and reweave themselves in the shelter of the deep, dark night. The night has its own hue, its own resonance, its own breath. It fills our soul, not with despair, but with promise. Dark is the gestation of our deep and knowing self. Dark is the cave where we rest and renew our soul. We are born of the darkness, and each night we return to the deep, moist womb of our beginnings. Do not be afraid of the darkness, for in the depth of that very darkness comes a first glimmer of our own light, the pure inner light of love and knowing. So, do not rush the coming of the sun. Do not crave the lengthening of the day. Celebrate the darkness here and now, a time of richness, a time of joy. Happy solstice, dear ones. Happy solstice. Que así sea, bendito sea. May it be so, blessed be. Amen.
One, two, three. Darkness, darkness, be my pillow, take my hand, let me sleep in the coolness of your shadow, and the silence of your deep. Darkness, darkness, hide the yearning for the things that cannot be. My mind from constant turning toward the things I cannot see. Darkness, darkness, long and lonesome. He's the day that brings me tears. I have found the edge of silence. I have known the depths of fear. Darkness, darkness, be my blanket. Cover me with endless night. Away the pain of knowing you're the emptiness of pride. Darkness, darkness, be my pillow, take my hand, and let me sleep in the coolness of your shadow, in the silence of your deep darkness, hide the yearning for the things that cannot be. Keep my mind constant turning toward the things I cannot see, toward the things I cannot see.
So this is the season of giving, and as our hearts open to that possibility, we create space, if you wish, to give a little today. Your special gift, even if you do make a yearly pledge offered today, helps sustain our seasonal worship and the worship year, as well as all the different ministries and social justice work that this congregation is so committed to. It also lets us pay our wonderful, wonderful staff. So, in that spirit, let's join together in the words of our congregational response. If not us, then who? If not open hearts, then what? If not now, then when? If not here, then where? If not generously, then how? If not us, then who? Si no somos nosotros, entonces ¿quién? Si no con corazones abiertos, entonces ¿qué? Si no es ahora, entonces ¿cuándo? Si no es aquí, entonces ¿dónde? Si no damos generosamente, entonces ¿cómo? Si no somos nosotros, entonces ¿quién? The baskets will be passed in a moment also. Your invitation here to give electronically, including scanning the QR code. May this church continue to be worthy of the many forms of your gifts. The morning offering will be gratefully received.
This is the first afternoon after the longest night of the year, that time when we are wrapped in deep and beautiful darkness. This is the first afternoon after the longest night of the year, the sacred, the special time known as the winter solstice. As we end our service and enter our afternoon, please join us in our chalice extinguishing words led by Karen and Troy.
Extinguimos esta llama, pero no la luz de la verdad, el calor de comunidad o el fuego de nuestro compromiso. Estos los llevaremos en el corazón. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts.
Tim, you have a few reminders for us?
I do. First, I'd remind you, this is Cecily, our coordinator of community life. If you are new or newish and you want to figure out the maze that this place can sometimes feel like, Cecily's your go-to person. And rumor has it you are offering a tour.
I forgot my sign, but yes, I'm doing it.
So if you would like a tour, quick tour of the campus, just so you familiarize yourself with it, and then you'll be able to sit down with coffee with Cecily. It'll be the highlight of your holiday, I promise. We gambled that the rains would stop, and we won that gamble. So coffee hour will be outside today. We do have heaters, so you'll be nice and toasty as you enjoy coffee and refreshments. Also happening today during coffee hour will be the first opening of our next installment of our UU art space. And our curator in the back, Jim, could you stand? Jim Kernan has curated yet again this collection. Thank you for your generosity. Lots of interesting art to enjoy. Also happening today at 12:30 in the sanctuary is our annual When the Holidays Hurt service. I always say this is one of the most important services of the year. There's so much color and celebration, and it's easy to lose sight of the fact that for so many of us, the holidays are a time of hurting. We struggle with depression, anxiety. We feel palpably the loss of loved ones who are not there. We feel estrangements and distances. So 12:30, When the Holidays Hurt, a gentle healing of support, a dental service of healing and support, 12:30. Then this Tuesday, December 24th, is our annual All is Calm, All is Bright candlelight Christmas Eve service at 6:30. We hope you will join us for stories and song. And then next Sunday, December 29th, we have a service called A Gentle End to a Challenging Year. And that will be next Sunday as well. Other than that, we just need to welcome those who are joining us for the first, second, or third time. We do this not to embarrass you. We're genuinely glad that you chose to be with us on this first cloudy, rainy, and now beautiful, sunny afternoon. So if this is your first, second, or third time and you're feeling brave enough, could you please stand? We will not leave you standing alone for long. Welcome, welcome, yay, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I invite the rest of the congregation to rise with them, and we are going to, if you came in a pod, join hands for our closing words. If not, we can place our hands over our hearts. You have heard these words before, but so appropriate for this solstice time. Honor the dark as you do the light. Receive the gifts that come to us by day and by night. We choose to honor the dark, uncertainty, and change. Deliver us from fear until only love remains. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen. Let's sing.
2, 3.
Go from here in peace, go in love. Go from here in peace, go with love. Go from here in peace, go with love.
welcome. If you want the tour session, we'll meet you at the pulpit. Happy solstice to all.
2, 3, 4. Dashing through the snow on a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Till on bobtails ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing the sleighs on tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on a one-horse open sleigh. Now the ground is white